Sabotage. I saw an interesting post by a TikToker named Jeremy Schaller, and he said that he feels that some men sabotage themselves in dating. And he feels it's really ironic because he was describing a scenario where the guy that really likes the woman is nervous and clingy, and he doesn't know how to approach her or keep her attention, and he's doing all the wrong things. Whereas the guy who really doesn't care about her is cool and aloof and seems a little mysterious, and she's attracted to the second guy, but not the first guy. And, you know, of course, we have all probably seen the scenario that he's talking about. But, the problem with it, and this is something that you see a lot in these, rom-coms and, this idea that the woman just really doesn't know what's good for her. And you see that a lot in kind of these mansplaining scenarios where men seem to, on a sly, want to give women advice because women just don't know what's good for them. They just can't see beyond their, shallowness or their infatuation with the bad boy or whatever. And I just find this post a oversimplification. There is some truth in every gross oversimplification, and there is some truth in what he said. But many women find the nervousness of guys who like them endearing. And many also think that aloofness is playing games. And this video that I saw, it also assumed that there's nothing that these men, these nervous men, can do to change this situation. But there is. They can, one, admit their feelings and just be vulnerable. And a lot of times that really works with women who actually do care about you and are attracted to you. Two, they could go to therapy, and talk about their nervousness and get some tactics or tips for how to date with more confidence and interact, and have less social anxiety. They could get a life coach, or they could use visualizations, affirmations, breath work, or meditation to better process their emotions. And the thing that I've seen being around successful men who, when you get to know them, will tell you that as a teenager, as a young man in his 20s, starting off in college, he had social anxiety, he had these issues. I've found that when it comes to their job, that many of these men that are nervous around women, they will go and invest in some of the things that I've mentioned if they feel it's going to, derail their job or their career or their ability to advance. But just if it's women, then it seems to be almost like, oh, well, too bad. If she weren't so, quote, shallow, this wouldn't be a problem. Or if she didn't have this inability to see who's good for her, it wouldn't be a problem. So it's almost like the blame sometimes goes to women rather than the man doing what he would do if this was a job opportunity and finding ways to alleviate this problem and fix this problem. And so, I always talk about, when I make posts about leadership, how some men talk about being leaders, but when they have opportunities to lead themselves, those same men don't. They point fingers, they act like they're victims, they act like, whatever the status quo is what they're doomed to deal with. And that's not leadership. Leadership is if you see something that needs to be fixed, you say something, you do something, you change something, you look at your options, you do some research, you take action and initiative. That's leadership. And I always say that leadership starts at home. It starts with yourself, and again, like I said, looking at what needs to be changed for you to be better and then taking initiative to do that without somebody else needing to come along and encourage you, motivate you, get you started, push you. Leaders They're leaders because they don't need that outside force. They are able to internally motivate themselves and internally get themselves going. So I just, wanted to say that. May you walk in His energy.